All right, so get this.
Okay.
We're diving deep into Stoicism today.
Oh, cool.
You know,
Yeah.
that ancient philosophy that's having like a major moment right now.
Stoicism.
Yeah. And here's the kicker we're starting with. Wait for it. A YouTube video.
Huh. Interesting.
I know, right? But hold on. Before you click away,
Huh?
this isn't just any random YouTube clip.
Right.
This is from the Yeebook channel.
Okay.
And their video, Stoicism, Become Undefeatable, is seriously packed with insights.
Oh.
It's like perfect for our listeners, people who already know the Stoicism basics but want to go deeper.
It makes sense why Stoicism is so popular again now.
It's true.
I mean, it's like centuries old, but it's making a comeback.
Right. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think
Oh, yeah.
maybe it's because our world is so chaotic these days.
Oh, totally.
Like everyone's feeling the pressure.
It's constant. Work deadlines,
Social media.
all of it.
Yeah, and Stoicism kind of offers this way to deal with it all.
It does. It's like finding calm in the craziness.
Yeah.
And you know what? This video starts with a story about Zeno, the founder of Stoicism.
Okay.
And it totally illustrates this idea of finding calm.
Really?
Have you ever heard about Zeno's shipwreck?
I think so.
So picture this.
What?
Zeno's on a ship.
Yeah.
Shipwreck. Loses everything.
Oh, wow.
His entire fortune. Gone.
That's awful.
It is. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
His reaction was incredible.
Oh.
Instead of freaking out, he stayed calm.
That's interesting.
Right. And the video makes a good point about this.
What's that?
Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions completely.
Gotcha.
Like, it's not about becoming an emotionless robot.
No, I get that.
It's more about controlling your reaction to those emotions.
So how you respond.
Exactly. It's about how you handle whatever life throws at you.
I like that.
That's such a good takeaway from that story.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, it really highlights that whole Stoic idea of focusing on what you can control.
It does.
Zeno couldn't control the storm, right?
Bingo.
But he could control how he responded to it.
Powerful.
And that's the key.
I see that.
That's where the real power lies.
You know, it makes you think
It does.
about how often we get caught up in things we can't change.
All the time. The video talks about how we all see the world through our own lens,
Right.
So obviously, our perspectives are going to be different.
Yeah, for sure.
But Stoicism,
Mm-hmm.
this video
Mhm.
explains it really well.
Yeah.
Gives us the tools to use every experience,
Every single one.
even the bad ones,
Wow.
as opportunities to grow.
Interesting.
It's pretty cool.
I think what's really cool about Stoicism is that it wasn't just for like a certain group of people. Like
Yeah.
the video highlights how it was for everyone.
It's true. From slaves to emperors.
Yeah. Like you had Epictetus.
Who was a slave.
Right. And then you have Seneca, this powerful statesman.
And even Marcus Aurelius.
Oh, yeah. The Roman emperor.
Exactly. All finding wisdom in Stoicism.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It's wild. Speaks to how universal those principles are.
And I bet that's one of the reasons it's lasted so long.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it gives you a framework for dealing with the unexpected.
The curveballs life throws at you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what else the video talks about?
What?
This concept of voluntary discomfort.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So imagine this.
Right.
You're intentionally putting yourself in uncomfortable situations.
Like what?
Like taking cold showers, sleeping on the floor.
Whoa, hold on.
I know, right? Sounds a bit crazy at first.
Yeah, a little bit.
But the idea is to train your mind to face discomfort head on.
To build resilience?
Yes.
Okay.
So think about it.
All right.
You're dreading something, like a big presentation at work.
I know that feeling.
Right. You get that knot in your stomach.
Totally.
But imagine if you were used to discomfort,
Hmm.
because you'd put yourself in those situations regularly.
Interesting.
So you're saying that by getting used to discomfort,
Yeah.
you actually lessen the fear when it comes up unexpectedly,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
like building up your mental immunity.
Exactly. And the video even suggests it can help you appreciate the little things more.
Oh, I like that.
Like imagine sleeping on the floor.
No thanks.
Haha. But then when you get back in your comfy bed,
No, yeah,
it feels like the best thing ever.
makes sense. The video also digs into how Stoicism kind of challenges how we think about happiness today.
In what way?
Well, how we're always told that happiness comes from having more stuff, more experiences.
Achieving more goals.
Yes. But Stoicism flips that whole idea on its head.
Oh, really?
It argues that true happiness doesn't come from external stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from within.
From yourself.
Yeah. It's about focusing on what you can control your efforts, reactions, your perspective.
That's where the four Stoic virtues come in, right?
You got it. Wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice.
Right, I've heard of those.
Those are key.
They're like a roadmap.
They are. For cultivating that inner strength and peace that Stoicism is all about.
Okay, so let's break those virtues down.
Perfect. Let's start with wisdom.
Okay.
So wisdom's about understanding what's in your control and what's not. Right.
That makes sense.
The video uses this analogy of someone working really hard for a promotion,
Okay.
but then they don't get it.
Ouch.
Yeah, it can be so frustrating.
It is. You put in all that effort.
Exactly. And you don't see the results you wanted.
Right.
But that's where Stoicism comes in.
How so?
It's about recognizing that you could control your effort, your dedication, how you approach the work.
But not the outcome.
Exactly.
So it's like finding satisfaction in the process.
Yes, in doing your best, even if you don't get the reward you hoped for.
It's a subtle shift.
It is. But it's powerful.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then there's courage,
Yeah, courage.
which a lot of people think of as like physical bravery.
Running into a burning building.
Right. But Stoicism has a different take on it.
Okay, what is it?
It's about facing those tough challenges head on.
Even when they're scary.
Exactly. Especially when they're hard or uncomfortable.
So it's about standing up for what you believe in.
Yes. Doing what's right, even when it's difficult.
Even when it's unpopular.
It's about that unwavering commitment to your values, no matter what.
Like that inner strength to persevere.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Then we have temperance,
Okay, temperance.
which often gets misunderstood.
Really? How so?
People think it's all about deprivation or denying yourself things.
Oh, interesting.
But it's way more nuanced than that.
Okay.
Because,
Yeah.
our culture is obsessed with more stuff, more experiences, more everything.
Oh, absolutely.
But Stoicism challenges us to rethink that whole equation.
So what does temperance really mean then?
It's about finding contentment and satisfaction with what you already have.
Okay.
It's about appreciating the simple things instead of always chasing after more.
That makes sense.
It's about realizing that real happiness isn't found in all that external stuff.
But inside,
Yes, in a feeling of gratitude and fulfillment.
it's like shifting your mindset.
It is. From I need more to I have enough.
I like that.
And finally, there's justice.
Okay, justice.
This one's all about recognizing our interconnectedness.
With other people.
Exactly. And it's about understanding that we have a responsibility to others.
To treat each other fairly.
Yes, to treat everyone with fairness and respect, no matter what.
So it's like our actions have an impact on the whole community.
It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah, I see that.
Like even small actions can make a difference.
That's a good point.
And you know what? The video uses Nelson Mandela's story to illustrate these virtues in action.
Nelson Mandela,
Yeah, think about it. He faced unimaginable injustice.
during his imprisonment.
Right. But when he got out, he chose forgiveness over resentment.
Wow.
He focused on rebuilding instead of revenge.
That's powerful.
It is.
It shows how Stoicism can help you get through tough times.
It's a framework for handling life's challenges.
It's really interesting how the video connects these ancient principles to modern therapy.
It's true.
Like, it shows these ideas aren't just old-fashioned relics.
Right.
They're tools we can use today to manage our thoughts and emotions,
Like an REBT,
where you challenge those irrational thoughts.
and replace them with healthier ones.
That's Stoic.
It is. And that whole Stoic idea of finding meaning, even when things are rough,
Yeah.
that lines up with logotherapy,
Which helps you find purpose in your life.
even when you're facing adversity.
Makes you realize how much Stoicism has shaped how we think about our minds.
It does. It offers a whole framework for understanding our emotions
Managing our reactions.
and living a life of purpose.
Even in a world that feels out of control.
It's about taking charge of your inner world.
So you can handle the outer world.
Well said. It's about finding that inner peace that helps you face anything.
With grace and courage.
The video ends with this really thought-provoking question.
Okay, what is it?
It asks, what would it look like to define success based on your values instead of your possessions?
Wow, that's deep.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It makes you rethink what really matters.
It does. It challenges you to figure out what's truly important to you.
And maybe,
Yeah,
just maybe, Stoicism can help us figure that out.
I think so.
I do too.
That's a really good question.
Yeah, it gets to the core of Stoicism.
It's like they knew back then
You what?
that we'd be obsessed with having
Not
more.
Totally.
more stuff, more experiences.
Or everything.
It's like they had this blueprint.
The blueprint.
Yeah, for navigating a world obsessed with more.
They were ahead of their time.
I think so.
So how do those 4 virtues actually help us today?
You mean with these modern challenges?
Yeah. Wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice.
Right. Let's take wisdom, for example.
Okay, wisdom.
The video talks about how it's not just about knowing a lot of facts.
There's more to it.
It's about understanding what you can actually control.
Yeah, well, you can't.
Right. Like, we can't control external events,
True.
but we can control how we react to them.
Like getting stuck in traffic.
Perfect example. You can't control the traffic jam, but you can control how you respond.
I guess you could get all stressed out.
Which makes it worse, right?
Yeah. Or you could just accept it.
Listen to some music.
Maybe an audiobook.
Turn it into productive time.
That's wisdom in action.
It is. It's about choosing a response that helps you.
Instead of letting the situation control you.
Exactly. And that kind of leads us to courage.
Okay, courage.
The video emphasizes that Stoic courage isn't just about physical bravery.
It's more than that.
It's about mental strength, too.
Okay.
Like having the guts to stand up for what you believe in.
Even when it's hard.
Especially when it's hard.
I think that's so relevant today.
Oh, totally.
There's so much pressure to conform.
Slows it in.
Exactly. And it takes a lot of courage to be yourself.
To stick to your values.
Even when everyone else is doing something different.
Sometimes it means speaking up against injustice.
Or challenging the status quo.
Yeah, even when it feels risky.
That takes guts.
It does.
And then we have temperance.
Temperance, right?
I think this one's tough in our culture.
Why is that?
Because we're constantly bombarded with messages like,
Well, you need more.
exactly. More stuff, more experiences, more everything.
Yeah, it's hard to resist.
It is. But temperance is about finding contentment.
With what you already have.
Exactly. It's about appreciating the simple things.
And not getting caught up in that chase for more.
You know, I've totally fallen into that trap before.
What trap?
Thinking, I'll be happy when I achieve this or when I get that.
But there's always something else to chase.
It never ends.
Stoicism tries to break us free from that cycle.
So it's not about denying yourself pleasure.
No, not at all.
It's about finding joy in what you already have.
It's about shifting your focus
From wanting more.
to appreciating what you have.
And finally, we have...
Justice.
The video presents this as more than just fairness and legal matters.
It's bigger than that.
It's about treating everyone with respect,
Dignity.
regardless of their background.
Their beliefs.
It's about acting with compassion
Even when it's easier to look away.
or to take advantage of someone.
It's about recognizing that we're all connected.
We all impact each other.
It's like a web of humanity.
The video uses Nelson Mandela as an example
Of what?
of living with justice.
Okay.
He went through so much injustice in prison,
Yeah, he did.
but he chose forgiveness
Instead of anger.
and reconciliation over revenge.
Wow.
Stoicism can help us through the toughest times.
It's a powerful example.
It really is.
It's like Stoicism isn't just about these abstract ideas.
Right.
It's about putting those virtues into practice.
In everyday life.
And the video actually gives some techniques for doing that.
Oh, cool. Like what?
Well, one is called negative visualization.
Oh, that sounds scary.
I know, right?
But it's not about being pessimistic.
No, not at all.
It's about being prepared
Mentally prepared.
for challenges that might come up.
So if they do happen, you're not totally thrown off.
You've already kind of rehearsed it in your mind.
Exactly. Like imagine you're worried about losing your job.
Oh, that's a scary thought.
Instead of ignoring that fear,
Yeah.
you could actually visualize it happening.
Okay.
What steps would you take? What resources do you have?
Who could you ask for help?
Uh,
By thinking it through ahead of time, you'd feel more in control,
exactly.
even if the worst did happen.
And it all comes back to that dichotomy of control.
Oh, right. We talked about that earlier.
It's about knowing the difference between what you can and can't control,
Like, we can control our effort, our attitude,
but not the weather.
or other people's opinions.
The Stoics say focus on what you can control.
Your inner world.
Don't waste energy on stuff you can't change.
So it's about being smart with your energy.
Yes. Focus on what you can actually do something about.
It's not about giving up.
Ah.
It's about channeling your efforts where they matter.
You got it.
That's really empowering.
And the video ends by talking about journaling.
Journaling. How does that fit in?
Well, the Stoics were all about self-reflection,
Looking inward
examining your thoughts, your actions.
to get better.
Exactly. And journaling helps you do that.
It's like you're having a conversation with yourself.
But on paper,
You can start to see patterns in your thinking.
your behavior.
It can help you identify areas where you want to grow,
It's a tool for self-awareness.
which is really what Stoicism is all about.
It's about becoming a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
It's really about putting those virtues into practice.
And the video actually gives us some real tools for doing that,
It does.
which is awesome.
Some of them are kind of surprising.
Like that whole voluntary discomfort thing,
Oh, yeah?
intentionally making yourself uncomfortable.
You build up that resilience.
Right. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy,
I know.
but it's like you're training your mind
Exactly.
to handle discomfort when it pops up unexpectedly
You're basically exposing yourself to a little bit of discomfort.
on purpose.
Yeah, so it's not as scary when it happens in real life.
Makes sense.
The video gives some interesting examples.
Like what?
Taking cold showers.
Ugh, I don't know about that.
Uh-huh. Or sleeping on the floor.
Okay, that sounds even worse.
Or even fasting for a while.
Interesting.
It's all about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone.
To build that mental toughness.
And you know what else?
What?
It can actually make you appreciate the good stuff even more.
Oh, I can see that.
Like imagine you take a cold shower.
I'd rather not.
Haha. But then a regular warm shower feels like the best thing ever.
I guess that makes sense.
It's like resetting your perspective.
So you're more grateful for those little comforts.
Exactly.
So what other tools does the video talk about?
There's this one called negative visualization.
Negative visualization.
I know, it sounds kind of weird.
Yeah, isn't that like being pessimistic?
No, not really.
But you're thinking about negative things.
You are, but the idea is to prepare yourself.
Mentally.
Yeah, for stuff that could happen.
Like a mental fire drill.
Exactly. By visualizing those challenges,
You're less scared of them if they actually happen.
you've already kind of faced them in your mind.
Like that whole losing your job scenario we talked about.
Yeah. Instead of just worrying about it.
You can visualize what you'd do if it actually happened,
What steps you'd take.
who you'd reach out to,
You'd feel way more prepared.
and less freaked out.
It's like taking away some of the power of the unknown.
And it all comes back to that dichotomy of control.
Oh yeah, knowing what you can and can't control.
Like we can't control the weather or other people,
But we can control how we react.
our efforts, our attitude,
Exactly. Focus on that stuff.
your inner world.
Don't waste energy on things you can't change.
It's about putting your energy where it matters.
It's not about being passive.
It's about making the most of what you can control.
Right. It's empowering.
I like that.
And then there's journaling.
Oh yeah, journaling, how does that fit in?
The Stoics believed in self-reflection.
Like looking at yourself honestly.
Yes, to figure out where you can improve.
And journaling helps with that. It's like a way to track your thoughts and feelings.
And your behavior.
So you can see those patterns.
The good and the bad.
It's like you're having a conversation with yourself.
But you're writing it down.
Because you can really see it.
And then figure out where you want to grow.
That's awesome.
It's a powerful tool for self-awareness.
Which is what Stoicism is all about, right?
It is.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
I agree.
Who knew that a philosophy from like ancient times
Yeah.
could be so relevant today?
It's amazing how timeless those Stoic principles are
They really give you strategies for dealing with life
for finding that inner peace.
and for living a more intentional life,
It's about weathering the storm
focusing on what you can control.
and building a life that's truly fulfilling.
I think we can all learn something from Stoicism.
I think so too.
And hey, maybe we can all become a little more undefeatable.
Just like that YouTube video said.
I'm definitely going to give it a try.
Me too.
And for everyone listening,
Yeah.
we encourage you to explore Stoicism too.
See what works for you.
You never know, it might just change your life.
It might.
Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring.